Fuck off, man.
All right, we are back, everybody, with episode number 3 of the Ginyu Farce podcast. And I'm just going to open this up with a question on the spot. Connor, what's your favorite Weezer album?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what mine is. Mine is the Blue album because it features the track In the Garage. And that's where we are right now. We are in John's garage.
I see what you did
That was
there.
a long way to get there, but you got there.
Yeah, I got there.
Son of a bitch.
So we are doing episode number 3 in John's garage. We're trying it out.
We're going to see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes here. We're all in person now, so
Yeah,
that's
first time.
that's the key here. We're all together. The families are gathered. So I guess we'll just take off here. So we're doing the Red Ribbon Saga, which is episode 29, and then we skip to 34, and we go up through 45. So that's like 12 episodes, 13 episodes. So basically, just a real quick, like, sort of synopsis of the saga. Goku goes to some Russia-type place. It's very cold, and he ends up going to this tower because there's these bad guys, the Red Ribbon Army guys, and they kidnap the village chief. So he goes to the tower, and every floor he's got like a new guy to fight, and sort of like Mortal Kombat. He's like climbing the ranks, and then he gets to the top, beats the guy, and then saves the village chief, and then he goes and finds Bulma, and then they take off for a new adventure. So does that sound about right?
Sounds about right.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it. So
You say they take off for a new adventure. Oh yeah.
yeah, Bulma
At the end of the saga. Yep.
Yep.
I'm back on track.
Yep.
So it starts with episode 29, which is, right after the World Tournament. The World Tournament is over, and it's like, I think, the next day or something. So Goku basically takes off on his new adventure. He wants the 4-star ball because it's his grandpa's. But in his sort of early travels, he sees Nam. What are the odds that he runs into
Our
Nam?
boy Nam is back.
Nam.
I'm just going to throw it out there. This whole arc felt like filler or filler in a sense. I mean, it was just...
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I don't know, it didn't have the weight of the earlier ones.
I know Connor liked it. I know you said you
I
liked
don't
it.
think that this saga is that bad. I think it's just as good as World Tournament. And if this saga is filler, then World Tournament is filler. It's just another exploration of Goku fights, he wins, and like nobody can stop him. Like it's the same stakes.
Except for... He did get stopped.
Well, the first arc was like super fun adventure time with the gang, right? Like meeting people, we're going places, we're finding balls.
Yeah.
And it was fun and lighthearted, and then Saga 2 was like, alright, now we're getting serious. We're like, it's like fights, cool, but one-on-one fights. We get to see how everybody dies.
And there's some fights.
Fucking fights!
I got news for you. This tower, each episode,
It's
Goku,
a fight.
it's a fight. Goku
But,
gets in fights.
But the difference is that, like, who cares
About Goku.
about the village?
Cares about
Honestly,
Nam in the village.
I don't know these people. I don't care what. Why is it so important that he has to stop?
You barely knew Goku at the start of the World Tournament saga. It's just that he's the main character, and we're supposed to care about him. But the whole point is that Goku is pure-hearted and cares about everybody.
My question is, how'd they run out of all that water that quick?
Nah.
Yeah, like he I mean, I get it. Like, he got home and he was like, "What's up, bitches?" Let it flow.
Oh yeah, because he is. Okay, yeah.
But like, it was like, it has not, but it can't have been that long since the World Martial Arts Tournament, can it?
No, it's like just a couple days later.
Yeah, like homie's already dry again.
Didn't Giran like block up the dam and?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, where did they release all the water that they had?
It's very hot there, John.
I thought the whole point of that scene where he like releases the water was that he was like basically flowing a river.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
But when he left the city, he left with a swimming pool essentially full of water
Yeah.
in a dino cap.
Yes.
And then he throws it out and opens it. He's like, look at all this water. And then, like, the next day, they're like, the water's gone.
We haven't had water in so long. I'm like,
Where's-
bitch, you didn't save any of it. Like, come on. These guys really, they live in a desert. Like, we gotta start prepping for shit.
You weren't supposed to bathe in it. You're
Like, come on.
supposed to drink it.
You know, some kid bathed in it and accidentally took a shit and ruined it for
We
everybody.
pooped in the pool. So
But yeah, that episode really didn't set up a whole lot of anything. It was kind of.
it was almost just like a tale of the breed.
Yeah, it was wrapping up a story that no one asked for an ending of.
I wanted
much.
so badly to care about Nam because I was like, on paper, that's a very compelling story. Like, this man is fighting for his village and his family and just wants them to have water, like basic human needs. But the whole time you're just like, there's no way he's gonna win against Goku at the end.
I don't know, man.
Because
I was
Goku's our
never
boy.
rooting for Nam.
I never felt compelled to root for Nam.
I
I felt like I should have cared for him more.
I felt like if they didn't show me the same backstory for him 5
Yeah.
times before he fought, maybe I gave a shit more. They spent more time on his backstory than on his
I
fight.
feel like Nam's like thing was like, you know, when you like watch like American Idol or like whatever, and they like give you the sob story, like before they sing, you know, and they're like
100%.
He battled cancer. And he's an orphan, and you know,
Even his adopted parents were killed in a car accident.
Yeah, and, like,
last night.
it's something tragic. But then like you go on, and then the person doesn't advance or whatever, and then that's it. We don't need to know what happened to him afterwards. You know, like it's over.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. But
Oh.
it was like sort of a way to kind of segue into what we get with the whole muscle tower thing, because he's like, I gotta get the 4-star ball, and he runs into Nam, and then he decides to help him. So he's like, I'm gonna get you some water, and it turns out that Giran from the World Tournament is blocking all the water. He's got his what did he call that stuff?
His gum.
Yeah, the
His
gum.
tummy gum.
The
Tum tum gum gum.
gross. He's got that like stretched over like the waterfall. So
Yeah,
the
double-
water can't.
God, now I'm getting confused with Hunter x Hunter. Anyways,
So he's got the
Tummy gum.
yeah.
The
and
tum
he's,
tum
he's
gum
got it
gum.
blocked off, and then he goes there to see them. Goku goes with Nam to see Giran, and Giran's like pretty chill about it actually. Like I don't remember his like actual like I don't remember the details of their conversation, but like
merry-go-round gum. I had to go back in the
Merry-go-round.
notes.
thank you. He was kind of like, you know, he was a dick in the World Tournament Saga, and then he like sees him and he's like, "Oh, it's Goku! Look, what's up, man? This guy is so strong. I forfeited because he's so scary." And then he's like, "Yeah, you can have the water, but nobody can break the gum." And so then Goku does the thing, and
Then the water
and then the
goes.
water flows and helps Nam's village. And
Great.
so that's pretty much where we're at, and then
Goku sets off, continues his own adventure.
yeah, and then he takes off, and then basically, then we skipped ahead to episode 34 because 30 through 33 are all filler.
It's all something. It has to do with like a monkey
Something about a
family, and Goku befriends them. You all can go watch it if you want.
It doesn't matter. So then, it's a little bit jarring because all of a sudden we're like, the next episode it's like showing like the Red Ribbon Army, and they're like,
And a recap.
yeah,
It
and
shows
they're
a
like,
recap.
here's the like their trucks driving around, and they like got bases set up, and we're just like kind of thrown into it. But Goku, in episode 34, he finds the 5-star ball, and then we meet Colonel Silver, who's like
A dick.
the local
Dick.
douche. Yeah, like,
Local douche canoe.
he like runs all the like the little guys. So.
I think it's another classic like tyranny, tyranny story, and Goku comes and yeah.
Well, he's like whatever. These guys are their radar sucks. I don't care about them. And so he goes and gets the 5-star ball, and then Colonel Silver finds out about it, and so he like sees Goku on his Nimbus and shoots him down with an RPG.
Yeah.
And then Goku fights him.
Gets new tube right out.
He wins. Goku steals an airplane from this base.
And a robot.
With the help of a robot. And they crash land in a snowy area. And that's... A lot actually happened in that.
I'm a big fan of the robot, by the way.
The robot was cool. And, you know, if you like the robot, you're going to really like GT. Because...
Fuck off.
There are robots in GT.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about that episode? Or what did you think about, like, seeing the Red Ribbon Army for the first time?
I mean...
What are your initial impressions?
Connor, why don't you go on this one? Why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's jarring, because I don't think we have a lot of exposure to guns or the army before this in this show.
Yeah, no.
And, you know, we're a good 30-some episodes in. You feel like you've got a good idea of, like, the world that is built here, and suddenly we're dealing with basically Nazis.
Well, I think it's the first group of organized military.
Yeah.
Organized military being the operative.
Definitely like
word.
Nazi vibes.
It's, I think actually what it's more supposed to replicate is, and I could be wrong, but Cold War vibes.
Yeah.
Which is again why you get that Soviet Major Metallatron coming up. You know, it's supposed to mimic that very Cold War-esque, which everyone was dealing with at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also get the Nazi vibes too.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to compare any state-sanctioned military violence to Nazis.
Exactly.
And they will have world conquest on their mind, and they want the Dragon Ball so that they can rule the world.
Supposedly, that is the goal.
That's their goal. That's like
a man with a Scottish accent.
Yes.
A very bad Scottish accent.
So similar to like what Emperor Pilaf was doing, except good. Like they're better at it.
Are we to assume that this is a state-sanctioned military?
No, there is no. To my knowledge, the Red Ribbon Army is a private military corporation or private military whatever.
Interesting.
I don't believe they. You know, they don't really. They've never outlined really any major boundaries except for possible cities like East City, West City.
Yeah.
I think there was something else, but yeah, there's no real like countries outlined. The president is a dog.
True.
And that comes out way
I
later.
wish our president was a dog. That'd be
honestly, they might be.
Dude, what a good boy.
I don't know what this podcast is about, but I could definitely get behind a goodest boy for president.
But anyway, so yeah, we get introduced to the Red Ribbon Army, and they're like pretty, you know, it's a big organization, military, and Goku ends up in a very cold place, which kind of makes sense with the Cold War vibes. He's like, it looks like Russia, kind of, right? It's like Siberia or something. So he crash lands, basically, and that's sort of where the episode ends. So, I guess the only thing I wanted to add was that I thought General Red reminded me of Giovanni from Pokemon. He even had like it wasn't a cat, but he had like a thing on his lap, you know? And I know that's like
that like weird alien.
That's just like a mob boss, like that they have a cat or something that they're like petting.
It's a Godfather reference, you know.
Yeah. But like he reminded me of Giovanni. Like if Giovanni.
Big boss vibes.
If he like
not like big boss, but just a big boss.
Yes, a big boss. If Giovanni like ate a lot of cabbage and haggis, he would.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I can't tell if it's supposed to be like a Scottish accent or an Irish accent. I'm assuming it's leaning more towards Irish at this point, but
the accent work in this show is questionable.
Spotty at best.
Yeah. So
35.
Basically, what happens? We meet this girl named Suno. I thought
Snow.
Suno. It's Suno, but it's like Snow.
Yes.
Snow.
No, not snow. Snow.
Suno.
Yes.
Suno. Yes.
Connor.
So Suno saves Goku, brings him to her house, and then he finds out about the village chief, and he takes off for the base.
And what that is again, they've kidnapped the village chief and are keeping him prisoner there until they find the Dragon Ball in the area.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the backstory on that. So
They being the Red Ribbon Army.
yes.
And they're like pretty. We find out they're like pretty brutal. Like they're like making the men in the village like work for them, like to find the Dragon Ball. So like, and they're just like.
We see them straight up like invade these houses.
Yeah, they're like.
Oh yeah, and like shoot up houses.
They're like kicking in doors and like.
Which is where the Nazi like vibe comes out to me the most.
But yeah, they're pretty. You know, they're pretty hardcore, and I thought going into the saga that I'd seen it before, but I have not seen it before.
Oh.
Because I thought that, you know, I saw all Dragon Ball like on Toonami when it came out. I'm not sure this ever was on Toonami, to be honest. Because
It's a good chance that it wasn't.
And then as I was watching it, it kind of made sense because there's like guns and like violence, like.
And a lot of pervy stuff too. I mean, the pervy stuff is a bit like it's a lot more than it is in DBZ. This Dragon Ball wasn't really a kid's show.
No, but like, it's not. The saga isn't really pervy. It's more like.
No, I'm just saying that
in
general, like I think about what we've seen up to this point.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of pervy stuff.
But I do, and that's a good point. I do like that the show is moving away from that and like getting into something different. But like, I don't know. There's like military like invasions and they're like shooting up houses. Like we said, like that's not something that's gonna be on Cartoon Network at like 5:00 after school or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's closer to like an Adult Swim thing actually with how it is. It's like more mature. So, what did you guys think of Suno? Any thoughts or the episode in general?
Goku just is always pulling tail, man. Wherever he goes, he's just doesn't matter what he does. He walks in the room and just women are like, damn.
Well, like she's got a crush on him for sure. Like you can tell, right?
Pulling tail is a bold way to put it.
Yeah, you caught it. Thanks.
More of a schoolgirl crush type thing, but yes, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a crush on him for sure. I don't know. They're not.
This is another reason that this whole arc to me, and I'm not saying it is filler, because it's not, but like it has that same vibe. Like this was a whole episode where it was like, you know, it needed to happen. Like you had to introduce the characters, you had to introduce the plot, you know, had to set everything up.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck, man.
And also, like, as far as I know, none of these characters, like, reappear, right? Like, I mean, as far as, like, maybe little references or something, but it's not, like, where we meet Krillin. And, like, Krillin's, like, in the show for, like, a long time. And Yamcha's in the show. And Master Roshi is in the show. Like, we don't see Snow
These people
again,
never come back in a relevant way, which again, like I get it because it's an adventure show and I love it because of that, but because I've seen all of it, it's just in the grand scheme of things for me, it's like okay,
There's no stakes for you.
yeah, there's no stakes for me, which is fine. Like we're still very very new and still rolling into this.
In my opinion, the stakes are not about the characters that we meet. It's more about Goku's adventure and like the development of Goku as a character and like just knowing what we know about him, like, and how he is like able to.
That's true.
You know,
I mean,
like,
that's what this show I think is based on.
there's like character building.
Yeah,
For sure. About Goku.
it's about developing his character.
yeah.
And
I agree. Again, it's just hard. It's just hard for me having already seen like everything. Like,
Yeah.
So.
it's still good.
Oh yeah, it's still good. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, it's not my favorite.
Yeah, mine neither. But I don't know. Anybody have anything else to say about 35?
Nothing about
Let's
35.
Get into Muscle Tower.
Yes, Muscle Tower. That's basically episode 36. He gets into Muscle Tower and he has to fight Major Metallitron on the 3rd floor. And he is fighting him and he runs out of batteries. And then he goes to the 4th floor. And that's basically the episode.
I just want to throw this out there. I think that this whole muscle tower thing is based off of the movie Enter the Dragon, or maybe that's not the exact movie it is, but it's based on a Bruce Lee movie where he has to fight
his way up a tower.
Fights his way up a tower and save it. So I believe that's what this is pulling from.
Okay.
It's got a lot of pop culture references here.
And in that movie, the last person he has to fight, I believe, is Chuck Norris. Which is just a fun...
America.
Yeah. I think he breaks Chuck Norris's back in the movie. But anyways, I don't know if there's any more correlations between like who he fights, because I'm in there, I don't remember it, but Major Metallatron, I think, was just a Terminator reference.
Oh, absolutely.
That's about it.
And it was not subtle.
No.
Like,
They even name drop Terminator, don't they, in the next episode?
Yeah. They say that Goku, I think they say he terminated him or something like that. He terminated him. But he's like a robot, right? So he like shoots his head off with a Kamehameha, but he like gets back up and he's like still walking towards him without a head, and then he like launches his hand at him like a rocket, and then the hand is just missing, but he's like still. Like, he can't stop. Sort of like in the first Terminator where he keeps taking damage, but he just doesn't stop.
And then the only thing that I have to say about it is which we said in the group, is the first time that you definitively see the word alien come up on a scanner. Now, Major Metallatron scans Goku, and there's a bunch of gibberish on there, but at the very bottom it says alien. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether or not that's like a true call out, or there's just something different about it.
I wonder if that's like how it appeared in the original Japanese.
That was the question that I had.
Yeah, I mean,
because if that's localization, and we know that this was airing in the early 2000s, like this was airing in 2002, after Dragon Ball Z had aired in the United States.
Right.
So is it just localization because we already know that Goku's an alien, or
I don't know
spoilers?
if it's, I don't know, but I don't think it is localization just because like it's not like it's like a voice part where it's
it was just
what do I do with alien? It's like on the screen. Like
Funimation did alien. All that kind of shit
but
with localization.
They did dubs. They did like move some stuff around and images and stuff. But
I mean it's very possible, but
it says his scanner says request clarification on science inability to neutralize alien.
Yeah.
So like he like doesn't, and that it's really subtle. I mean,
In any case,
for like 2 seconds.
It is accurate.
Yeah, and they don't elaborate on it at all. They just keep going.
Just a little Easter egg for you.
Yeah. So anyway,
my darts.
That's it. Anything to add about 36, guys?
Nah, man. Let's get on to this. What could be the silliest string of episodes and possibly character.
Yes. Episode 37. We meet Ninja Murasaki, and Goku faces him on the 4th floor. So that's basically the entire episode. Is him fighting Ninja Murasaki.
Which the 4th floor looks lovely. There's a river and an entire
it's a
forest.
Whole
There's a house.
Botanical garden.
Yeah, I would love to live there.
Yeah.
Nice. But
Murasaki, man, what a villain. He's supposed to be like the world's most fearsome ninja.
Yeah. He's like really threatening. He's like
they describe
going in.
Like they bring in like a backstory for him
Yeah.
with threatening music, and then within like the first 3 minutes or something, doesn't he sodomize himself?
Well, that was a little later.
A little bit later, but yeah, he's just a goofball.
He's like this trained assassin, and then he's like, to hide, he like puts up a towel that looks like a tree, but he's got it backwards, so it's an American flag.
That has to be localization.
Oh yeah.
That was just like, it's so stupid.
Silly.
I did not like Ninja Murasaki.
I thought he was. I think I've accepted that the villains in this show are set up to be these like high stakes, like all powerful. You've never seen anything like this before, and Goku's just here like, that's cool. I'm gonna fucking beat you up.
Yeah.
I'm a deck in the schnapps.
Pretty much, like he's Ninja Murasaki sort of reminds me of. Now stay with me. He sort of reminds me of Vegeta. He reminds me of Vegeta in his attitude. The way that he's like, stop fooling around. I'm trying to fight you, but he and he's very arrogant.
He takes himself so seriously to a point that it's just kind of funny.
But he can't back up anything that he is saying. Like Vegeta, obviously, can he can cash the checks that he's writing. Murasaki cannot. He is just his actions are just stupid and ridiculous.
It's like this whole like tower is made up of middle managers who have failed their way upwards.
It's like the Three Stooges. Like he's like in the pond, like with a stick, and he's like underwater, like hiding from Goku with a stick.
And then Goku,
he sees the air bubbles, and Goku's just like, oh, okay.
Like very slapstick comedy. And like he gets a teapot, pours boiling water down.
He pours hot water down this stick, which was actually pretty fun.
That was hilarious.
That was funny.
I just want to point out again, though, like this fight was very drawn out. We're not even.
It's really long.
It's a really long fight, which is very again.
It is.
It's very indicative of this arc.
It is a full 2 episodes.
Yeah, and like the sodomized scene,
he does
super funny.
That does happen.
Goku power pulls him in the butt.
Yeah,
I just want to throw out that when he does this like screaming donkey yell, it goes on for over 2 minutes. I think like it's because he's like doing it for like a solid 45 seconds, and then he like touches the side of a tree, which I mean that sounds like it would fucking suck. But then it's like another minute of him doing it. I would
probably.
Well, have you ever had a power pull in your butt?
I'm just saying, man, it's a little drawn out.
I thought
don't worry about what I do in my free time, all right?
I thought his reaction to it was the most realistic thing about this.
Oh
yeah. I would scream for 2 minutes. But like, what is the context? I'm trying to remember. Why is he's in the air?
He's in the air, like.
But why is he going butt first toward the ground?
He's like doing a kick or something.
Yeah, he's like,
and Goku just sticks his power pole in the ground and steps to the side, and he just.
Again, it's the arrogance of these villains.
Yeah.
Like nobody has, they've only fought like, average people before, and they're slightly stronger than average, so they think they're the strongest people in the world.
They think they're hot shit because they've
And you also, I mean. It's really easy to forget that Goku has a cloud that can literally fly like the same speed as a plane and get him anywhere on the planet too. So not only is like these people can't travel the world as fast as Goku can, so he's just going and fighting everyone in the world's strongest, which is just fun.
It's true. Anything else to add about 37?
Not 37.
Not 37.
So 38. 38. He summons his brothers. He does some technique, and then he goes from 1 to 5. But it's not like an after image, like they're real guys.
You're like kind of led to think that it's an after image at first, but
that's like real guys.
Like literally, he doesn't even wait. Like I thought that they would like play it out longer, but then it's just like, these are my brothers. That's my secret this whole time. I'm not actually that fast.
Yeah.
But truly, I think one of the funniest things in this episode. At the beginning, when the narrator is giving the recap, he says, "Never underestimate a boy in his pole."
Oh, that's funny. I want to know. Okay, so are they actually his brothers, or is that a technique similar to what Piccolo can do and Krillin can eventually do, where they can split themselves into four separate parts, but their power level is halved or quartered.
I think that would be an interesting idea, but I don't think the writers were even thinking about that at this point.
Well, I mean, we're closer than you think. This is a technique that Tien is, I believe the first one to use, and I believe it comes up in the next martial arts tournament. I mean, they had to be at least somewhere in their mind at this point, because if they're already through episode 40, I mean...
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, and keep in mind, it started out as a manga, too. I don't know. Manga, whatever.
Get in the comments.
Actually,
it's manga. Actually, yeah, you can yell at me in the comments.
I think that would be a cool approach, and maybe they did have it in mind, but I think they were just playing up the fact that they're brothers for laughs.
Which is just silly.
Yeah, because I think, and I don't think Murasaki is good enough of a.
That was my other thing. Even if he
can't
could,
do
I don't
that.
think he has any key
He
manipulation.
Yeah.
or
He
anything
can't do
like
that.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's up top.
He's a fool.
I just wanted to throw it out there that there
Yes,
is a
yes.
technique that we will see later that's
Yes.
very similar, and I didn't want to forget to bring it up.
Yeah.
But we get all the 5 brothers, and I liked that one of them just used a gun.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Literally, they all have like 4 out of the 5 have these special weapons, and then like I think number 3 has a gun.
Yeah, Murasaki, or the third one, like he's like one's got throwing stars, one's got like I don't know a knife, and one's got this, but one's literally just like busting cats. Like he's just.
I just want to throw this out there that historically samurais did in fact use guns. From their introduction to like the dying out of samurais, there were guns that were used.
Absolutely.
Historically speaking, I checked.
Fair enough.
It's just it's
It
a
was still
funny
silly.
dichotomy.
It was definitely silly.
It was very like I don't know. It was just so funny to me that he would use a gun.
And
But-
ultimately, Murasaki, at the end of all of this, he's just like, I need a raise. How much do we think Murasaki gets paid to be in the army?
You know, probably not that much. I don't know. 'Cause he's
Well,
not very
Room
good.
and board at Muscle Tower.
He's not very
One
good.
would assume that his money would be made upon taking contracts as a ninja assassin. So I mean, it would be hard to base it on that.
Sure, but let's
So-
assume he's contracted with the army since he's in Muscle Tower.
I don't know. We can probably say when the prize for winning the World Martial Arts Tournament was 500,000 zenny. So what do you think the average contract kill in the?
Does he get paid by the hour? Or
Well,
does he
he's
get
probably
paid by
He's probably paid to be on retainer. Would be what I would assume.
Like he's on call.
Yeah, they would pay him. They would pay him a set amount of money, and then he could still take jobs on the side, but would have to drop them. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? 200,000 zenny?
Sure. And whatever it is, clearly not enough.
It's not.
And does he have to? Is he paid one rate for all 5 brothers?
That's
is,
funny.
is this 5 brothers thing something that the army doesn't know?
Like they're like in a band. Like you gotta split all the checks between all the members.
Capitalism is the boot that crushes us all.
But anyway, Goku beats all 4 of the brothers.
All 5.
Well, he beats the 4.
Oh, yeah.
We're left with the.
We're left with
original-
1.
The original. We're led to believe it's the original. So he runs up to the 5th floor and releases android number 8, who we're led to believe is quite scary. So.
Yeah, he's like the secret weapon of doom of the Red Ribbon Army.
Yes, and the Suno's dad mentions that they have some secret like weapon.
Oh yeah, I
thing,
forgot they do.
A creature in the tower.
Something not human, I believe,
Yeah.
was the word they
Yeah,
used.
I liked that little. They had to show that Sano's dad was alive, so they just show him coming home, and then he just briefly mentions that there's something
He's
not
like
human.
heard some
Hey guys,
rumors.
nice to see it. There's something
Something-
scary in
yeah.
that tower.
That was pretty much how it went, and then they showed the android.
So that's what we're led to believe. So that's 38, and anybody got anything to add to that one?
Nothing else.
Nah.
All right, so 39, we meet android number 8, and it turns out he's a super good guy, and he's
Frankenstein knockoff.
yeah, he's got a good heart. And then they go up to the 6th floor. Yes, the 6th floor where General White is, and they fall through a trapdoor.
So this is Android 8.
Mhm.
What happened to 1 through 7?
We're all so, and then I guess we're not even gonna come. We'll come back to it, but let's assume that they were failures.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, actually.
I mean, yeah, because if you ask that question, then you're asking about how many other androids there have been. I mean,
Turns out,
Was Terminator an android? Or was he just a
no,
robot?
He was just a robot, I
think
believe.
he was just
What is the distinction?
Androids,
have they're like humans that are
Cybernetically enhanced?
yes, they're like human robot hybrids.
Okay, yeah, because we do see
A robot? No. A robot with a human appearance.
What?
Yep. A robot with a human face.
Is that Google definition or is that
That is
Dragon
Google
Ball definition?
But in Dragon Ball, apparently they are biological.
Yeah.
Because we see that in Dragon Ball Z. But who knows? Because Android 13 was a fully mechanical android, so I believe it must just be a fully encompassing word. You know, all encompassing.
It's the 80s. We were playing fast and loose.
Yeah.
Right. But by Google definition, it's a robot.
Interesting.
So yeah, we meet 8. I don't know. He's a really nice guy.
I called him a civil disobedience king.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fight.
He's kind of just a pacifist. He's just a pacifist. Or he's just robot pacifist in general. Why he doesn't like it. So
Murasaki's like, kill Goku, and he's like,
nah,
I'm good.
I'm good. I can't.
I do not approve of violence. And so he Murasaki goes to detonate the bomb that is implanted in him because he's not listening. And Goku destroys the.
In the nick of time, he destroys the remote that would blow up Android 8.
So, and then he does, I think, he doesn't kill Murasaki, but he takes him out. Right? He's like out of.
He knocks him out.
He knocks him out. He's out of commission.
He
So he's gone. He's done.
He gives him a good kick in the head, I think.
Yeah, he gets fucked.
And then like Goku and Android 8 kind of officially meet, and
I like
Goku's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, They call me Android 8." And Goku's just like, "What a weird name. I've never heard that name before. Pure dog shit name. I'm calling you something else because I hate your name so fucking much. I'm calling you Aider."
Oh, that's
sucks,
funny.
bro.
Yeah, it's a stupid fucking name. But, and that's pretty much it, right? And then
That's pretty much it.
General White drops him through a door, which leads us to.
And General White has just been like a guy on the sidelines the whole time. It's been like cutting to him, and he's like watching.
He has been your mall surveillance security advisor.
Yeah, and he's like giving, saying little things the whole time while he's fighting Metaltron and Murasaki.
It's a major theme you'll see with the entire Red Ribbon Army, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, throughout all of these different colored generals you'll fight, you'll see. I think there's one of them who's pretty good.
There's always a guy above watching the guy below. I think is like pretty normal.
Yeah, but you'll kind of see all these generals have their own like little force. Silver was kind of the exception.
He was just a colonel though.
Yeah.
He was on the ground.
Yeah, but anyways,
So the 5th floor was just that little walkway with the android and then a ladder. So he goes up the ladder and
6th floor.
gets to the 6th floor, and then they fall to the real 5th
5th floor.
like the actual 5th floor, which is interesting because the 4th floor is really tall, and the part that we see is just I don't know, like the balcony of the 4th floor. So I don't know where the 5th floor actually is. But
Is this the episode where we go through the maze?
yeah, we do go through a maze.
Mm-hmm.
We go through a maze. Goku and Aider are there. Pac-Man.
And at this point, let's just assume that the laws of physics don't really apply inside of these floors because they're ungodly large
They are
for
very
what you can see outside of what looks to be a regular sized tower.
Yeah.
Bigger on the inside.
True.
Yeah.
True. It's a grower, not a shower. So yeah, they go through the maze and they. I don't know. It was fun.
All there really is here to talk about is Booyan. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really all there is left.
On to
I mean,
40.
That's episode 40. They
Yeah.
fight Booyan. And so.
They get through the maze in just the nick of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get up to the next floor.
It's whatever at this point. The next area.
They move on to the next part
They
of
go
this
from-
tower,
They go from
wherever
6A
that
to
is.
6B.
Yeah, and this giant jello-y pink monster appears.
Lives in there, yeah, and I think maybe that Booyan is the actual creature that's scary that Snow's dad is talking about. Like,
I don't know because
There very well could be two
episode
things.
39 they call Android 8 the army's most fearsome creation. That's a direct quote from the show.
But I mean, here's the thing. He could be their most fearsome creation, and Suno's dad could also be talking about some not human that lives in tower. I mean, they're both there. They're both very accurate.
Open to interpretation.
I mean, yeah, whatever floats your penis, man.
Sure. So, episode 40, they're fighting Bouillon, who's just a big, scary, pink Jello guy.
Yeah, this is.
He looks like a boss in it. I don't know.
This show loves pink, blobby villains. They really do.
It does.
But this is really. Goku really struggles against this, and this is the first time that I think that you really see Goku use critical thinking in a fight and use it to his advantage, because Goku, there's a good long back and forth between Goku and this pink blob, and nothing Goku can do can hurt him.
It's just all bouncing off.
Yeah, to the point where he even fires a Kamehameha and then thinks about it before he fires it and says to himself, "Oh, I'll have to use a Kamehameha, but it makes me hungry." And then uses it, and it still doesn't work. To which
he uses it, and then it just kind of bounces off of Bouillon because he's so big and fluffy.
And you can he vocalizes like, how am I gonna beat him? How am I gonna beat him? And then finally, the solution being is they just bust a giant fucking hole in the wall.
Make it super cold.
And so I really think that it's cool the way that, like, you know, you've seen like what you said earlier. They've just been kind of going from place to place, and Goku's really just been like, I'm gonna hit you really fucking hard, and you're gonna go down. This is the first time where we see that Goku is more than just like someone who can hit you really hard. He is capable of critical thought. He's not stupid. He just doesn't know things.
Yeah, he's never been put in a position where he has to think.
That's why this is a very important fight for me, because it's very telling, and I also love what I love about the show is that there is so much growth that happens in this show. Not to say there isn't in Dragon Ball Z, but it just seems like there's so much that they cover in such a short amount of time, and it really.
So what you're saying is this arc really highlights an important part of Goku's journey.
I didn't say that it didn't, man. I just said it's not my fucking favorite.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's really a lot of fun to see Goku think on his feet like that, and the solution that he comes up with, bust a hole through the wall, and
which makes it super cold, so he can't stretch.
Now he didn't use did he use the Kamehameha to get a hole in the wall? He just punched a hole in the wall, right?
Yeah, because
Why didn't he do that in the maze?
Because
that wouldn't have been fair, man.
Would have been too easy.
It's not honorable.
Well, I mean, and that's a good point. I mean, you'll see that kind of throughout the entirety of the show with Saiyans. Saiyans will, specifically Goku and Vegeta, will never take an easy way out to beat an opponent. So that's just in their DNA.
In their blood.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mount Doom?
Okay, fair point.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, also like how cold would it have to be to get Bouillon to freeze that fast? Because it happens in seconds.
We really haven't talked about how cold it actually is. Like when Suno saved Goku, they do say they barely thawed him out. When he leaves for Muscle Tower, he leaves in his gi and runs out, in his crazy like pre-Naruto run, and then runs back frozen again. So we really haven't touched on like it is like dick chilling cold.
It's real cold. It's like
And with that in mind, a 50-pound, 40-pound child compared to a 600-pound blob of Jello.
You think a 12-year-old's 50 pounds?
I have no reference.
Jesus.
How much could a kid weigh?
It's banana. How much could it cost? I have no idea how much kids weigh.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the question of how long it would take for him to freeze completely solid like that.
A long time.
Yeah, a long time.
Longer than we're led to believe. But
longer than it would take a child.
About as long
12-year-old.
About as long as it took Murasaki to get that pole out of his ass.
Yeah.
Say about that long.
I like. I'm glad that they didn't have a whole episode that was just Bouillon getting colder slowly. So So, you know, it
That's
was nice that
true.
they advanced it. So, I don't know.
In any case, it was a fun resolution, and then Goku just fucking bops him into smithereens.
Yep.
And then he uses the power pole to get back up to the 6th floor, I think, right? So,
Which,
I'm not sure why he didn't do that from the start. But,
you know,
anyway, he's hungry, he's not thinking clearly.
yeah.
You know. So he's, that brings us to 41, where we actually fight General White, and then Android 8 punches him super hard. Village Chief is saved, and Android 8 destroys the entire tower from, they're outside. He knocks it over. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? What'd
You
think?
have notes on this.
There was a lot going on in that episode.
They're wrapping a lot up.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, it was like, first of all, General White is like we're led to believe he's like the final boss of this,
Right.
and it turns out he's weak as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a recurring
Common theme.
in this arc.
In the show, honestly,
Yeah,
you
and-
can pick out a bunch.
And then like Goku, for a moment, we're like almost led to believe that he's dead. It's like that
Yeah.
fucking scene in Kingdom Hearts 2 where Goofy dies. Like, you know that's not actually what happened, but everybody is react like
Yeah.
8 reacts like that's what happened.
There's no way Goku
And it is
died
the
from that.
impetus of him breaking his moral code
Yes.
of pacifism and fucking decking General White into the
Yes.
mountains.
Punched him super, super hard. Also, General White found Goku's weakness and grabbed his tail, but then he just, like, after he got weak, he just, like, let him go.
He just let him go.
I'm not sure why he would do that.
I don't. Well,
Super stupid of him.
I mean, I don't think he really understood. He must not have really grasped the the full concept.
I guess.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But like, regardless, White gets fucked up, and then 8 kind of, I understand why he like wanted to break it down, but it was like that's like the first thing that you've done, and it was just right in the middle. Now just gotta clean all that shit up. Like,
Yeah.
you hear all the people in the building.
I would hate to be the Red Ribbon Army grunt that has to clean up the
Ego-
shambles of Muscle Tower,
Right. Well,
pulling bodies of your friends out from the from the wreckage.
That's a lot of. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
To pick up all those bricks.
Some stormtrooper shit.
Yeah, but we meet the village chief, and I don't know. Seems like a nice guy.
He's a magnanimous, or he's
what?
no, not magnanimous. He's I don't know.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's
Just a-
fine.
just
He's
a
just a
chill guy.
fine dude. I won't eat until my
I know
people are
he,
safe or something.
I keep making Pokemon references as we watch this, but he reminded me of Mr. Fuji at the top of Lavender Tower, where he's just like, he's just a nice
Yeah,
guy,
just a
sipping
nice
cocoa,
guy.
just hanging out. So I don't know. That's the end. They go back to the village, and then you guys are good on that.
Good on it.
Good on it. 42. Goku, Snow, and Android 8 visit Dr. Flap, who removes the bomb from Android 8, which I think is a pretty good episode. I
Yeah.
like that they touch on the guy who made Android 8. I think that's pretty cool, Dr. Flap. We could believe that he knew Dr. Gero in some
Well,
way.
we would have to assume that Dr. Gero would be the mastermind behind. He would be Ben Franklining, in a sense.
Yeah, but we
these
don't even-
androids.
We don't even have Dr. Gero yet. Like that's
No.
not that's nowhere.
They
on our radar.
retcon later and say that they work together, basically. So,
Okay.
but I like the Android stuff.
Don't get upset at us. We all know Dr. Gero's a person, man.
That's my the Android stuff's like my favorite stuff probably in the whole series. I really like the Android Saga and stuff. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, they do surgery on him, get the bomb out.
Yeah, and then Murasaki's being again, Pokemon. He's being like Jesse and James, he's following them and just doing it poorly.
Yeah.
And he ends up blowing up at the end, I think.
Oh, we're not gonna touch on when Goku pissed on him?
Oh, Goku does
He
pee on it.
pulls the fucking he pulls the damn towel trick again, but this time it has it right. And then Goku like turns around, thinks he hears something, and he goes over and just pisses all over Murasaki's pants.
Pees on his shoes.
And then Murasaki falls on a frozen lake. I just wanted to touch on all the badness that happens to him before he gets murdered.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just.
There was a moment there too where I like thought maybe he was just gonna drown in that lake too. Like he's like looking for air, like he's panicking.
It's another instance. This episode is kind of another instance of them like raising the stakes, but then immediately just dashing them away.
Yeah.
At almost in the same breath. I mean, Murasaki is alive. First of all, like for all we knew, he was either dead or severely injured from the end of his time in Muscle Tower. Was he?
Rubble.
He must have escaped Muscle Tower.
I thought he climbed. Doesn't he like climb out of the wreckage?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he like his hand. We get a lot of tropes in this episode. Like.
So like yeah, after all that, he still has enough energy to come steal the two Dragon Balls.
Well, what he thought
What he thought were Dragon Balls.
But it turns out Ader had him the whole time.
Yep.
And then
original plot device.
Tries to escape into the mountains, and Goku solves it by causing an avalanche.
Yeah, fires the Kamehameha, misses
into
him
a mountain
on purpose, but he hits the mountain, which causes an avalanche, which was pretty smart.
Which Murasaki then survives.
Yes. And at the end of the episode, Goku's like, "Oh, I still got this bomb." He's like on his pocket, and he's like, "We don't need this anymore." And he like throws it, and like
yeets it into Murasaki.
You know where that bomb is gonna land, right? Like,
and then the narrator says the story ended with a bang.
Yes. So that's it, and then he leaves, or he's like, "I gotta go back to my," or no, he's like, "I gotta go find Bulma, so that she can fix my Dragon Radar because my radar doesn't work."
Yep. He shows up, saves the town.
Yeah.
Does eco-terrorism and bounces.
And like,
They all want him to stay. Ader finds a new home with the village chief. None of this matters because you never fucking see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to point that out.
That's a good point.
The real thing that matters is the friends we made along the way.
Sure. So in 43, Goku gets his flying Nimbus back.
Yeah, he's like talking with the village people, and is it the village chief that's like, "Oh, you had a flying Nimbus? That must
like
be
another old guy."
Yeah, they're like freaking out, and they're like, "Oh, Nimbuses don't disappear," because at this point we thought that his Nimbus was wrecked by that RPG.
Yeah. And in my head, I was like, I know that he gets that back.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering how they were gonna introduce that again.
And I think it was really fun for me when he calls it back, because he calls it, and normally like they don't leave a pause between when he calls it and when you see it, or like when you hear it, and they leave just enough of a beat that you're like, yes, Nimbus is back.
Yeah, they gave you time to get excited. I was really happy that they brought it back in like real quick, because it's such a like integral part of this adventure show for Goku.
And I like Nimbus. When he got back, he's kind of like a dog almost. He is moving a little bit, and like Goku hugs him, and he's like leans into the hug. He's like,
Nimbus is a real
flying Nimbus
homie.
is an S tier character.
Yeah, God tier.
So he gets his Nimbus, and then he heads to West City, where Bulma lives, and finds her house with the help of a very nice policeman.
Yes! This is my favorite character in the entire show. Probably.
In the whole show.
You never see him again. Yeah. He's just a Canadian cop.
Yeah.
And he is weirdly okay with breaking the law to look up a 16-year-old girl, but definitely not okay with taking bribes.
Right.
And it's just incredible.
Goku fucking rolled a nat 20 on his charisma check.
Yes. He's like, I don't know if I should be doing this there, eh?
I'm not really supposed to do this for you, dearie. Okay, now which one of these ones? And then showing him pictures of different Bulmas. Is it this Bulma right here? Oh no? Okay, what about this one, dear? It's just incredible.
It's very rookie.
I like Goku's description of Bulma. Blue hair, big eyes, talks a lot.
Yeah, talks a lot, which is all true. It's all accurate. So he gets a ride on. Well, some things happen in between those that we should touch on, right? Like
Yeah.
Sorry, I get excited because of the cop.
This is our first view of the big city. Like,
big
Goku shows up and he's like, "Wow, this is like we don't really when we first meet Goku, it's like he's in just the wilderness, and that like we see villages, but we don't see
a town,
a modern city."
Yeah.
And
it's busy. He's walking in the street. People are yelling at him. He gets in the cab. He doesn't have any money. The taxi driver gets all pissed off.
The taxi driver is a wolf.
Yeah.
Some kind of canine.
It's
the
like
first things Goku learns about are capitalism and street fighting.
Yes, because he fights a Bruce Lee looking guy for 100,000 zenny, which I thought it was
great that the guy let Goku fight for free.
Yeah, he was like...
Because the whole thing is supposed to be a scam. He is a great fighter. You pay $1,000 to him. If you win, you get
a bunch.
10,000, something like
100,000.
that. 100,000.
Yeah.
100,000. So that's how he makes money. But he lets Goku in for free, and
Because again, it's the same thing of Goku is underestimated because of the way he looks, and he just wrecks shit.
We definitely get that a lot, where they're like, "Oh, he's just a kid." And then they lose horribly. So he gets his money, which he just gives to a random girl for pointing out
the guy who I wish was my real dad, the cop.
Canadian cop. I called
cop.
him Midwest Canadian cop because sometimes he sounds like he's from Wisconsin, but then he throws in a few A's.
Yeah.
They like,
maybe he's Canadian. The accents in the show are spot.
Northern Minnesotan.
Yeah, definitely the UP area or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there, buddy.
Drinking burners, eh?
But
he doesn't take bribes.
He does not take any bribes.
No. And screw you for asking.
Yeah. How dare you even insinuate that? But he will look people up for you, especially if they're underage.
Yeah, he will.
So I want to know more about the Midwest Cop. I want an entire anime for the Midwest Cop.
No problem with that.
And Goku gives all of his earnings to a random woman in the street who directs him to talk to a police officer. Imagine some kid asks you for directions, and as a thank you, you're just handed $1,000. Fucking insane.
You would have to, I don't know, you'd have to say, whoa man, this is too much money, like, you take this back. Like,
well, he didn't, first of all, he didn't give her the option. He was like, here's some money, and walked away. The real question is, what's crazier? A random kid going to give you $1,000, or you randomly finding a Canadian cop that'll look people up that are underage for you? What's more believable, man?
You know what? I would believe sooner that a kid would give me $1,000 than the idea of a cop being good.
Yep.
So that's pretty much that episode, right? It ends at his house, or at Bulma's house.
They find Bulma's house, and
then we have 2 episodes left. In 44, he reunites with Bulma, gets his radar fixed. The Red Ribbon Army hires a thief to steal the Dragon Balls from Goku.
Not just any thief.
Launch.
Basically.
It's not Launch, but it looks identical to Launch.
They tweaked the character model a little bit.
To blonde Launch, yes. To mean Launch.
Yes.
And then he meets up with some more of the old gang, like Yamcha and Oolong and Puar, and they're going to go to an amusement park.
Yeah, so we meet Husky, whatever her name is.
Yeah, the girl, the thief.
The Red Ribbon Army hires her, and she's like, they hype her up the same way that Murasaki was hyped up.
Yeah.
It's like, this thief had, like, the last job she did, she was in and out, and the authorities never knew.
Yeah, and we were paid early or something like that. Same.
The product arrived on time, the authorities never knew.
And there's like a flashback, and you like see her like doing cartwheels, avoiding
over lasers.
Classic thief shit.
Yeah.
Jumping over things.
It's dope.
Backflips into like.
And you're like, oh shit, is this gonna be the thing that bests Goku?
Spoiler, it's not. But we also meet Bulma's dad.
Yeah, we meet Bulma's family.
God, this is just fantastic.
Bulma's dad's great.
Bulma's dad is
Dr.
great and continues to be great.
Yeah, he's just like a super chill guy. Like Bulma's like, you know, being Bulma, and he's like, she's just that age.
And keep in mind, this is probably one of the most influential and successful people on the planet.
Yes.
At this point
This dude
in
is
time.
basically Bill Gates.
Yeah, I mean he
invented the dino.
the dino cap. So I mean
It revolutionized the world.
Yeah. So I mean this is he basically the start of the Industrial Revolution, the second one. And just to have him be so chill, and like they have a little indoor garden.
Yeah.
And you hear Bulma go like, yeah, he just takes in dinosaurs and cats and
Yeah,
dogs.
cats,
and
dogs, dinosaurs.
and you just see fucking dinosaurs wandering around.
That was really funny.
I mean, super dope. They got more robots that do the housework and shit.
Yeah, they've got robot
Like the
slaves.
Jetsons, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, very Jetsons-like.
And I like Dr. Brief's cat too. I can't remember the cat's name, the little black cat that sits on his shoulder, but he's just like, meow.
Yeah, and it felt like a very authentic teenager-parent relationship.
Yeah.
Scratch.
Or also called Tama.
He meets the cop goes in with them, and Dr. Brief
solicits free labor.
Yeah, first of all, well, you know what? Dr. Brief should not have been given that to the cop, but whatever. Don't need to get into that. So Goku, Bulma, and the cop all go into the botanical garden of their house and talk to Dr. Brief, and Brief thinks that the cop is Goku. He's like, oh, so nice to meet you, but I didn't envision a 12-year-old being so big.
Keep in mind, this is an elderly man with a mustache. I mean, maybe not elderly, but like at least middle-aged man with a full-grown mustache.
He's got gray hair.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
And Bulma's like, you're dumb.
And I've definitely met people like that, like when I'm at the hospital and there's like different doctors and stuff, and they're like so smart, but they're like also like not.
No social awareness.
They're not living on the planet that we're living on. Like they are just like somewhere else.
Yeah.
Completely. So I thought that was really funny.
And then when Bulma's like, okay, we're gonna go up to my room and fix the dragon radar, Dr. Brief is like, no kissing.
Yeah.
Which normally I would think in this show I would think that was that kind of thing has been played for pervy before, but I just thought it was kind of funny because obviously he's just making fun. He's just being a dad.
He's just like being annoying on purpose, like embarrassing her, which I really liked.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
And so she fixes the radar, and then we find out that she's also like super smart. And she invented a watch that makes you shrink down to like, you know, a few inches tall. Which, what?
She invented the Ant-Man material.
Yes,
Yeah.
She did. Like.
So she's a little 16-year-old prodigy. And that's.
And we also she's here because she cut class early.
Yeah, and then the cop was like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Shouldn't you still be in school, young lady?
What are you doing over here?
And then we meet Bulma's mom, who's also pretty chill.
Yeah.
She brings what are clearly alcoholic beverages up to them, but you can. It's like in a cocktail glass with like one big ice cube, but they're like, it's just juice. Like, I assume that's like a localization thing. But and then she's just like spilling the tea on Bulma and Yamcha's relationship.
Yeah, Bulma and Yamcha
they're having a bit of a lover's quarrel.
Yeah.
Bulma's trying to shut her up. It's all good American fun.
Yeah, I like that Yamcha has a fan club. That's so funny to me.
Oh, this is the height of Yamcha right here. And the slow decline, I think, comes in the next episode.
Yamcha's got like a bunch of girls outside of the house, like waiting to meet him, and it just makes Bulma so mad.
Yeah, they show up, and like when Goku's told about the fan club, he's like, he sees them, he's like, is there something wrong with them?
Well, the answer is yes.
Yes. And I think his mom is like, or Bulma's mom is like, Yamcha's a catch, good looking, and rich too. When did Yamcha get rich?
I don't know.
Is he like
explain it.
soliciting membership dues for this fan club?
He could get some pretty good gigs from his world tournament performance, I think.
I mean, yeah, you never know what you could.
He is a world-class fighter.
He's a good-looking guy.
I mean, you have to think about in the grand scheme of things. Like, Goku not being there, I mean, he's top echelon.
Yeah.
He made it to the world tournament, which in and of itself was, exclusive. So he is... Just because he sucks shit in comparison to Goku doesn't mean he's not good.
I sort of like how Yamcha's like a realistic version of like a fighter who would like do good. Like he plays baseball later.
Yep.
Right? Like he ends up playing baseball.
Yeah.
And he has a fan club, and it's like kind of, I don't know. I like that.
He's
It's good American fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he's just a good dude, kind of.
He's who's dating a 16-year-old. But
yeah. Well.
And they never really say how old he is.
Yeah.
They never establish that.
Yeah.
We
can probably assume he's 18 to 21.
Yeah, he's got to be.
I was gonna say
early
between
20s.
16 and 20.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's over 20 though.
Yeah.
Hard to say. But then.
And then Goku. I thought this quote from the cop was funny. Rich people, they really are a different breed.
So true. So true. Yes.
The only time I've ever agreed with a cop.
Words of wisdom there, eh? So,
And then Goku is reunited with Puar and Oolong and Yamcha.
Because
and Puar and Oolong are both just like, fuck Bulma, she
Yeah,
sucks,
yeah.
she's a bitch,
They're-
she's so mean to you, you should hate her.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thing though. Oolong kind of has every right to say this. I've been pushing this for a minute now. I know I pushed it in the last episode, but like, she basically enslaved him. So
Bulma is pretty mean.
yeah, like nothing
Like,
that they're saying.
But Oolong is also a fucking pervert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but okay,
Oolong's not
but
a
a pervert, does that deserve that you get? Does that deserve that you like have to be enslaved now and get diarrhea every time someone says
I think
piggy,
he
piggy,
earned
piggy?
his punishment.
I mean, I like it. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm saying is like, let's just not forget that Bulma enslaved somebody in the
Bulma's
show.
really no peach.
Yeah, so
She is a woman that stands up for herself. and doesn't take shit.
what she wants.
She
And by extension, she's a bitch.
wears her heart on her sleeve. She's very. I don't know.
No, I think Bulma's punishment to Oolong was totally justified.
I think Bulma maybe could use some medication probably, or a therapist. I don't know. She's like,
We all could use therapy.
even for a teenage girl, she is yelling at everybody.
A little
all the
high-strung.
time. She's yelling at everybody all the time. We all know people.
And it feels like the conflict between Bulma and Yamcha is just a fucking series of misunderstandings.
Yeah, it's
And that's
just
all. It really is all it is.
Bulma's
Like,
mad
they
at
both
Yamcha.
want to be with each other, but she's mad at him for having a fan club, and he's too spineless to do anything about his fan club and distance himself from it.
Right.
Ultimately, Yamcha is just a good-looking fail son.
I guess you're right. But anyway, we all meet up, and that brings us to the last episode.
I just want to say it's always a treat to get to see a full frontal of Goku's dick and balls, which they did in this show.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it and you're just watching us, like you see a full frontal of naked Goku multiple times in this show, and they have a little like dick drawn on it. Like it's not just like bare. It's truly wonderful.
It's shapely.
It's
Yeah.
not like Peter Griffin naked, right? It's like, yeah, they draw it's anatomically correct.
Yeah, I mean it's just good stuff.
But yeah, so this is they go. Everybody kind of makes good with each other, and they all go to the amusement park together, and they expect Bulma to pay, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Like she's the one responsible for having all the tickets.
yes. Well, she can afford them.
Well, yes.
But
A fair redistribution of assets.
I don't know. They go to the park and they have to deal with this thief who tries to steal.
Yeah, this world-class thief that finally comes to fruition here. and
she pretends to be a fortune teller.
yeah, she knocks out a fortune teller at this amusement park.
She steals tickets to get into the amusement park too.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them because she's with 2 lackeys.
Mm-hmm. She throws a walnut at Goku.
Who catches it?
And he catches it. No problem.
Ninja reflexes.
Yep. I don't know.
It was fun. It still follows that same format that this show does, which is it's fun. It was a goofy way to wrap up this little arc and set up another adventure.
And I gotta say, I think this episode is a good showing that I think even though this episode is like 95% filler, like the only part that's canon is at the very end when Bulma shrinks down, they get on the cloud and they take off. But I think the show is better when you have all those characters together, right? Like everybody benefits from each other. Like it was really nice to have Bulma and Yamcha and Oolong and Puar just hanging out, and like because they just have good chemistry. It's just fun to see them all on screen together. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Though I think what what makes it more difficult is that as you grow and you add more characters to this main cast. 'Cause, I mean, you started off with just Goku and Bulma, but now you have Goku, Bulma, Puar, Oolong, Yamcha. I mean, and that's not even including Krillin, who's not really really a part of that gang yet, but he's intermingled with them. That's a lot of people to have on screen at once and give dialogue to, and keep a good conversation flowing. So I think that's a big reason why you don't get a ton of those. I think that's a big reason why they split up.
But I like it's fun when they're all together, and I think Krillin's like off training with Master Roshi, or he's living on Kami Island with him and Launch, maybe.
Yeah,
really
that's what it alludes to. But Master Roshi did say that he wanted Krillin off the island. That was what he was hoping, but we will see.
Because he wants to just hang out with Launch.
Yeah, he's trying
because this time it's definitely gonna work, and he's gonna get his date. So
I don't really know. What does he actually want? Does he want to fuck Launch, or does he just want to peek under underwear and stuff?
I don't think he knows.
I don't think he knows.
I think he thinks he knows, but it's one of those things where he'll get the date, and then as soon as he gets it, he just doesn't know where to go from there. Like he'll panic out of it, or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hopeful that this Husky thief would actually lead to something substantial, because they hype her up so much, but I should have just known.
As usual.
Just nothing.
Yeah.
It's so inconsequential.
It's already over. At the end of the episode, she's already out of commission.
The world's greatest thief is out of commission.
Following the general theme that we've really followed, or that we've had up to this point, which is, send your strongest and Goku will make them look stupid.
So that pretty much wraps up the saga, I think. So
yeah,
Bulma and Goku are taking off on an adventure, just like episode 1. So,
which is nice to see a full circle.
Yeah.
To come back. So I guess we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it. I think we got the General Blue saga next.
Yeah, and I'm excited for this leg of the adventure in this round of Dragon Balls, because now, because they did, same exact thing. Bulma and Goku going out to do it. The only difference is that now you can do it all in the Nimbus Cloud. So now we get to be able to cycle through more stuff, get to more places. It's just quicker. We don't have to worry about the dino caps breaking. We don't have to worry about finding, so and so, or changing clothes. You get more.
It's like when you get far enough in the game and you get fast travel.
Exactly.
You get the airship.
When you finally get fly in Pokemon.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm curious to know how they'll handle the wishes, or how they'll explore that next, because obviously first time around Goku just wants the 4-star, and he's just kind of in it for the ride until he gets the 4-star, and then beyond that he's just whatever. And Bulma the first time around was I want a boyfriend, and
we don't really know what she wants.
She does make a mention. She's like, I'm gonna wish for someone way better than you, but I
think that was just kind of an offhanded I'm mad at Yamcha remark.
I can't remember exactly what. I think I know what, but for the sake of not spoiling it, this turns out to be a pretty fun.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything with you. This turns out to be a pretty fun saga with the red ribbon and their stuff. It does. I do think it gets better. It's just starting off is a little tough for me.
Yeah, I agree. But thanks for listening, everybody. Tell your friends about us. We've got some pretty good viewership, I guess, considering that we're like 3 episodes into the show. We get the analytics. People are watching from different states and even other countries outside the U.S., so that's cool. Tell your friends and keep us moving here. Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you later.